Alright, hello and welcome to another tier list video. Today, I'm going to be ranking different fitness equipment based off of their general usefulness. The idea here is for like a home gym sort of setting, so I didn't include any of the like obscure machines that you might find in an actual gym. These are more general fitness equipment that somebody might buy to put in their own home. So we'll be keeping that in mind as we go through this. And let's just get started off with a nice solid bench for bench pressing. Now, of course, this can be used in a few different ways. Primarily, it's for a bench press, but you can also just use it as a flat surface to lie on for any other exercise you might need. I'm going to put it probably in the top of B tier, just because it's really good and solid, and it is used for an amazing exercise, but it doesn't have a whole lot of variety to it, and for that reason, it's not quite an A. Okay, next is an EZ bar. This is going to have to go in C. They're not necessarily bad, and if you like using it for whatever reason, then it works just fine, but it doesn't really offer any advantage that I see anyway over just a regular barbell. But it does change things up a little, and some people might like that. Now we've got medicine balls. Now, I'm a little, I'll be nice and I'll put it in B. I think they can be solid for a lot of like functional fitness. It's good to get used to like picking up and carrying and moving around weight in a way that you would normally throughout your day-to-day life. And they're pretty good at doing that. But I don't know that it would achieve that much better than something like a kettlebell or a dumbbell would. And it's overall not got that many uses for most people's goals. So it's going to go in B. Now we've got a dips bar. I don't know exactly what you would call that. This is going to go right above the medicine balls. I think if you want to do dips, then you need something like this because doing it on like a chair or a bench is just not ideal. But it lacks a lot in variety. I'm sure there's other uses you can find for it, but it's not got that many, and it's more an essential for a very particular exercise, kind of like a bench press. Now we've got a foam roller. This is a little different than all the others because this is more like focused on other types of recovery and that sort of thing, but I decided to include it in here anyway because I felt like it's a thing that a lot of people might have. I'm also going to put it in C, probably above the EZ bar, but it can be really helpful for some people, but definitely not essential at all in most cases. It's especially and predominantly helpful towards athletes and other people with injuries and other issues that might be helped with something like this, but generally for the average person who just wants to do some weightlifting, it's not really going to do much for them unless they, of course, like it. Okay, we got an indoor bike. I'm gonna put that in A. Part of me doesn't feel right putting a bike above a bench press thing, but for like general fitness purposes, biking is actually going to achieve a lot more effects than simply bench pressing. I still prefer weightlifting over something like biking, but specifically the particular piece of equipment, I think a bike would be a lot more useful. All right, kettlebells. You'll notice that B is going to get a little cluttered here, but I'm going to put them right there, just below bench press. They're honestly pretty useful. They get a lot of hate from like, big lifters in the gym, but they're not bad for any particular reason. I mean, they're just like dumbbells. They're a weight with a handle on it, just in a slightly different configuration, and that can be used for certain exercises that dumbbells couldn't be. This gives them a wide variety of uses, and a lot more of those uses are related to functional fitness type things. And I think that sort of exercise is something that the average person will be looking for more, and something about them just feels right in a home gym. So, resistance bands. I'm tempted to put them in A, but I think I'm actually going to put them at the top of B. Maybe for someone else they work really well, but for me in particular, I've never found a way that I like using these, except for cases where I can't use actual weights. There's certain hip adductor exercises that you just can't work with weights and requires resistance bands, but they are useful for a variety of things, and I feel like an essential to any gym at all, really. So a pull-up bar, probably goes above a bench press. This one's kind of an essential, I feel like. There's a lot that you can do with it, and most of that is just pull-ups, but pull-ups are a great exercise and you can use weights on it as well. Plus it's kind of a cheap thing that you can add to a gym really easy. It feels like something that you should have even if it doesn't feel super essential. All right, so a Smith machine probably goes in the top of C because it is really good, but I think most people don't actually need it that much. If you're gonna do a bench press, it's better for more general fitness to just do it with regular free weights, and the same deal with squats and all the other exercises. It can have some benefits if you're trying to do anything on like one leg or something that requires a little bit more stability for that sort of reason. So I could see it having some uses, but it's just like a giant thing that doesn't really seem all that essential. Now dumbbells, easy S tier, easiest S tier of my life. To be honest, there is just so much that you can do with dumbbells. You can work every single muscle in your body. You can honestly reach the same level of fitness as most people just with dumbbells. If all you have is a good set of dumbbells, there is almost nothing you can't do. Now, I prefer a lot of different variants than the dumbbell variants of certain exercises, but that doesn't mean that they don't work, and a lot of them work nearly as effectively as their other variants. So for that reason, dumbbells are an easy S. So this here is a power rack. Now, I really like them for home gym type things, but I'm not sure that they're quite S just because they are very particular. So I'm thinking about A tier, but really if we're talking about any kind of power rack here, I think it deserves S tier. This thing can have a pull-up bar, a dips bar, weight storage, a barbell. I've even seen some that like are a Smith machine too. They're really just like everything you could possibly fit into one thing. So for that versatility and general compactness, it's super useful. And for any like serious weightlifter, I think it's kind of essential to some degree. Okay, so a dual cable machine. These are super amazing. I think I'm gonna just stick them in A. Like everything else at the top, they're super versatile. I still think generally free weights are better than cables, and there's still more that you can do with like dumbbells than you can with pulleys and cables. But there are also things that you can do with the cables that you can't do with dumbbells. So they're still really solid. And honestly, if all you had was this, similar to the dumbbells, you could reach, probably your max potential of fitness, or at least close. Like it's really not gonna make a difference. So the last one here is a barbell. Now I was thinking about putting it in S, but it doesn't really fit because it doesn't have the versatility that these have. I mean, this power rack is a barbell plus so much more, and dumbbells have just so much more variety to them. They are still really good and a kind of must for a lot of lifters, but I don't think it's quite S tier in my opinion. So there you have it. That's the tier list. Let me know if you think there's anything that you disagree with or something that you strongly do agree with. And as always, if you liked it, then like it, and thanks for stopping by.